$1,000 lamp with an empty bottle.
Yeah. He would do it too.
I know. Ooh.
Alright. Do you want to take two of these to talk about in the beginning then?
What about it?
At the bottom. Talk about the sweater contest, and I'm going to plug Addie's rooftop sessions.
Sweater contest, I'll talk about questions.
Okay. I'll take the other two. You ready?
Yeah, buddy.
This is episode 14.
Let's dip.
And here we... Why, salutations out there, YouSayWeSay family. This is episode 14. My name is Nathaniel Dahl. The person to my left, as always, is the getting hairier Stuart Hill.
What's up, guys?
That beard is getting there.
It's to the point now where it's bugging me. Like, usually my beard doesn't bug me, but it's to the length where it's getting in my mouth and stuff. So, and it's like a sponge.
Yeah.
Whenever I drink something, it just absorbs half the glass and just sits in my beard.
You have to wring it out.
Yeah.
And that's happening after No Shave November. That was happening midway through November for me.
And the only reason I kept it going was because I was so disappointed with my November beard. Because I started kind of like from scratch because of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I can't end on a crappy beard. So I'm going all the way till Christmas.
And now you regret everything.
I do. I really do.
When you're chewing stuff and you chew a little mustache, the worst.
It really is.
The worst.
And I'll get food in it. Someone will be like, oh, you got a little bit of a half a burger in there. And I'm like, oh.
I was saving it. Sorry. We got dumped on here in Detroit, Michigan with snow for all our out-of-towner listeners. It was a struggle this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We went out Friday night, though.
Yep.
We got to hang out. We posted some pictures.
We had a good time.
Yeah. But Saturday, there was no going anywhere. It was just snow.
I have a four-wheel drive Jeep, and I was having a little bit of trouble. So I feel like bad for everybody, like you and people that own cars.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling getting places with my
Jeep. I did all right.
Your car's not bad, though, actually.
No. It's not.
Because you got those tires. It works perfect with the tires.
And I had a rental, so I was in a Malibu, and I was just tearing it up. That's the best part about rental cars. You can just tear them off.
You don't have to give any fuck about it.
No. I was doing donuts everywhere I could go.
That's sweet.
We got a few things to talk about before we start the show. Our good friend Addie from Two Dope Girls has a new show called LA Rooftop Sessions. Give it a listen. Episode 1 is out on SoundCloud.
What a cool idea, by the way, too.
Yeah, she goes out on her veranda and she interviews some awesome people.
Yep.
The first episode included Phil Verone. If you don't know who that is, he's from Motley Crue, the drummer. A cool guy. In that interview, it's an hour long where they're just having fun, and it really sounds
like they're having fun.
Yeah. How
can you not have fun with him, though?
Yeah, he's funny. He's a comedian.
Yep.
Directs porn now. He's a cool guy. So I encourage you to check that out. Give her some feedback on that. The Stitcher Awards.
This is a big one. Listen up.
Ooh.
Drop everything you're doing right now and focus on what Nate's about to say. Because you could help us out a lot with this.
Almost immediately after we recorded last week's show, and I was kind of pissed about it because I didn't notice it during the show, got an email from Stitcher saying the Stitcher Awards are now open for nominations. And it's open nominations. We have links up everywhere. We're going to repost them after this episode, of course, because this is the first time we're going to be able to verbally tell you what to do. But for those of you that saw the link, we actually got a few votes that I know of. So thank you for noticing the link and following it. But we're going for Best New Show.
Yep, we don't want to go for all the other ones.
Yeah, it's too confusing to just say, vote for this. Best New Show. This is our first year. I figure we only got one shot at this one, so why not go for it?
Exactly.
But what's cool about it is you can vote once a day. You can nominate us once a day. And if we get in the finals for that category, then the voting starts, and then you can vote for us. So right now we're just trying to get nominated, which would be awesome anyway. If we end up winning, we go to San Francisco and we meet with the best podcasters around. So any sort of help you can give us with that would be awesome. We're definitely keeping our expectations realistic.
Oh, yeah.
But the possibility, how cool would it be? We talked about it.
It'd be unreal.
We talked about Friday at the bar when we were getting... The drunker we got, the more and more we're like, we're gonna fucking win.
It's gonna happen.
And then you sober up and you're like, wow, I was dumb. But no, it was cool. And that's what I like about Stitcher. They definitely, we're partners with them, and they definitely let you know that you're their partner, and they're not like they're a big company, but they're not talking down to us, even though we're an up-and-coming show.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. So they treat us well. So if you can, anything you can do to help us with Stitcher, whether it be nominate us or just listen to us through Stitcher, actually helps us more than it would if you listen through iTunes.
Yeah,
to be completely honest, not putting down iTunes, that's more of a status symbol that we're on there.
Yeah.
But I think the real profitability comes through Stitcher for us anyway. So that's why I kind of focus more on Stitcher. It's also a very handy app that they created. It's a very well done app.
Yes, it is. The other thing that we want to talk about is the ugly sweater contest. We've brought this up before. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, send in your pictures of your ugly sweaters. Everybody has at least one of them.
We got a few, actually. I wanted to tell you, we got a few over the weekend, but we need more. Yeah,
we do need more. So send in your picture. You can do it on Facebook, Instagram. You can send it to us any way you possibly can. You guys have all of our social media links, so
make sure you use the hashtag YSWS
so we get it. Yep.
And we're gonna search. We comb through that definitely on a weekly basis, almost on a daily basis.
Yep.
And we see anything that's been tagged with us. We got a few good ones. This Saturday, I know Stu and I have a ugly sweater party. And you'll see ours.
Exactly.
I'm blowing it.
Yeah.
So.
And then the last thing that I want to talk about, which to me is one of the most important things, is questions.
Yep.
We don't run without you guys and your questions. Even though we have been getting questions, but I just like to bash it in your guys' brains so we get more questions. We do have a bunch of them. We're not doing bad at all.
No.
But the more questions that we have, the better off this show is going to be in the long run.
Exactly. It also helps us create a better show.
Yeah.
Because the more we have, the more we can segue. The segues we create are not by accident.
Yeah, exactly.
We group the questions in a way on purpose to go along with what we talk about in our segments.
Yeah, we want to make the show as...
When you hear us talk about something in our segment that went along with the question, like you're going to hear today, it's not an accident.
Yep,
People are like, well, how do you do that? I'm like, well, we just put stuff in a hat and we pull it out. You fucking dumb.
Yeah, so questions.
I'd rather have Stu bash it into your head than me because he's more intimidating, especially with that beard. And I'm sitting here with my parted hair, looking like I look like a Jewish Hitler. I look Jewy, but I also look like it's a weird contradiction of how I look right now.
And I look like a teddy bear that was left in Detroit on a snowy day and just abandoned.
You look like Lotso from Toy Story 3, left in the rain, and then you see your owner has a new Lotso, and Stu just gets angry. That's what happens when we don't get questions. You never loved me!
Then I just start breaking all the toys.
Yeah. So those are our news stories for the day. Let's get into it, Stu.
Yeah. First question comes from Chris from Florida. This is a good starting question. Mm-hmm. Fuck one, marry one, kill one. You get to pick Barbara Walters, Betty White, and Oprah.
Oh boy.
I'm going to start off with who I would kill.
Okay.
I would kill Oprah.
Wow.
You know what? I feel like she has way too much for what she's done.
Wow.
Just because you have a show, it doesn't make you the most powerful black woman in the world.
I was just gonna say, you're a racist.
No, just promise I'm not. I understand that she does good, but I don't think she should get all the credit for it.
Stu's just jealous that she's a billionaire, to be honest.
Basically. That's why I'd kill her.
He wants her throat slit.
Exactly. Before I killed her, I would make her sign something so I got all her money, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But,
of course.
I would marry Betty White.
Nice.
She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She's a funny, old woman.
Exactly.
So that's exactly why I would marry her. She'd keep me laughing every day of my life, which would probably be no much longer than a year because she's going to die soon.
Exactly.
And then that leads me to who I would fuck, which is Barbara Walters. The only reason I picked her is because I can stand her. I don't even really like her that much, but it would be done and out of the way, wouldn't have to worry about it ever again. Because I'm not that big of a fan of her. But I would definitely not fuck Oprah. Oh, she'd be the one killed. It was between those two, though, for the killing.
You're just a racist, through and through. Because we only have one that's in common.
Do we really?
Which is weird, yeah. And let me first start this by saying that I have this debate, not with these three have definitely been a part of it, but at work, this question comes up at least 10 times a day. Fuck one, kill one, marry one, just randomly. We'll be, just working, and all of a sudden, someone comes up with one. So I'm very used to this question, and let me preface my answer by saying a four-way with these three would be awesome. Oh my. Do you know how many gum jobs I'd get? 3.
I wonder how many of them would die during the process of it.
None, because my dick is the size of a pistachio. It's little.
It's little.
It's like a clit, almost. I would kill Barbara Walters. She's dead to me. Her voice, I want her voice box removed. Like an annoying dog. Instead of getting a bark collar, some people have their dog's voice box removed, and it's not considered, inhumane. That's what I would do to Barbara Walters. I dislike her voice so much. Can you imagine her moaning during sex? I'd slap her. Not with my hand either. Like something hard and blunt. I'd marry Betty White. That's where we agree.
Yep.
She's rich, funny, and she's gonna die soon and leave me her money.
Exactly.
It'd be fun. I'm fucking Oprah though, because she'll spoil that dick in the bedroom and then in the mall after. You know what I'm talking about? Be a little. She'll be my sugar mama. If I please her, better than her friend Gail. I think she's a lesbian.
Yeah.
She always talks about Stedman or whoever that guy is, but they've never been married. I think she's scissoring people.
Scissoring.
Just sucking moths. That was a good one though. Thank you, Chris from Florida.
Thank you, Chris.
Another frequent supplier of questions, Mr. Michael Toss Tampakis, gave us one just as we started recording last week, so we didn't get to use it, but he said, who's the most famous person you've ever met? Now, for me, living in LA, I've met my fair share of famous people. But I think the smelly Chewbacca on Hollywood Boulevard is the most famous. He smells so bad.
Does he really?
Oh my God. I'm gonna give you a real answer, but I also want to talk. This is real. Like, he's never washed this outfit ever, and he always comes up. He's like, he's coming up behind you, and he wants to take your picture, like get a picture taken because he wants a tip.
Yeah.
He wraps his arm around you, and that hair, that fur is so nappy and so covered in filth that you're like, if you touch me, I now have Hep C. But I've met a lot of famous people. Owen Wilson, Woody Harrelson, Brad from Home Improvement, the older son,
yeah.
Zachary Ty Bryan. Actually had a few conversations with him. James Denton. There's a lot of people, but I think the coolest Most famous in my eyes was William Fichtner. From Longest Yard fame, he was the sheriff opposite Adam Sandler. He's been in a lot of stuff. Armageddon, Entourage. He was the coolest guy I ever met. That's why I'm picking him.
Yeah.
Because he was down to earth. He talked to you. I worked in a grocery store, and he would ask you questions like, what's the least popular thing in this store that's never been sold? And I was like, I don't know. And it's just like makes you think. I'm like, what a cool guy.
That is cool.
So that's my answer.
For me, I'm gonna set the story.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, it was my cousin's wedding, and they live in California. So, me and my family jump on the plane, and we fly to California. And when we land, we're getting our luggage, and I look over, and I see these two guys. And instantly, I'm like, I fucking know these two guys from somewhere. So, I'm sitting here just mind blown, like, where do I know these guys from? I seen them somewhere or something like that. And finally, it hits me. Childhood memories.
Okay.
Watching TV. WWE.
Ooh.
Dudley Boys.
The Dudley Boy.
The Dudley Boys. And it clicks and I go, oh my fucking god, that's the Dudley Boys. Walk over to them. The closer I get, I realize how fucking big they were. They looked like they were 9 feet tall. They were huge. The white dude standing up, looking pissed as fuck because their limo or something wasn't there, and the black guy sitting there, smoking a cigarette, just not saying one word.
He's gonna kill someone.
Yeah, exactly. So I go up and I try talking to them, and they were completely not nice at all.
Really?
They were dickheads. The one guy was just kind of like, hey, how's it going? I was like, you're the Dudley Boys. She's like, yeah, we are. And I was like, I used to like you until about 14 seconds ago. But
that was your moment.
I mean, my childhood moment, I'm thinking like, oh, they're going to want to take a picture with me. But they wanted nothing to do with me.
A lot of times you don't want to meet your, like, people you like.
Yeah, I met like...
Because they let you down.
Yeah, I met the Big Show, Owen Wilson, like you.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few. I never lived in California, so...
Yeah. Ha. Loser. Freak. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, you've told me that story about the Dudley Boys. That's your crowning achievement.
Oh, yeah.
The Dudley Boys. I love when you get into it. You're like, the Dudley Boys.
The Duds. That's what they're fucking called to me now.
Thank you, Toss. I'm gonna do my segment.
Yep.
Right now. Get it out of the way here. Episode 14. 14th letter of the alphabet. It's letter N. Also begins my first name. So this is kind of a special question for me, you know? It's just sort of like my question. No, it doesn't matter. If you're just starting to listen to the show, what I do every week is I start a question with the corresponding episode number in the alphabet. With that letter, I start a question with it. And we're on 14, so N. Here we go. Notice how in action movies the hero rampages through people's houses chasing the bad guy and he ties them up in a clever way to a chair, leaves them to chase the rest of the crew. What the hell happens when the family comes back home and that guy's just tied up in their house or their store that they own, that they just wrecked? Do they like adopt him? Do they take him into the police? You ever notice that?
No, I did.
Like when Jackie Chan, perfect example. He always uses something like in the room to tie someone up to like the pole, and they're just there, and then he runs off.
Yeah.
Like, what happens to that guy? Does anyone else wonder that? If you have an answer, or if you've wondered that too, let us know, because I've seen so many movies where they're just sitting there. I'm like, they're a bag of bones.
Completely forgotten.
Yeah, it's an abandoned building. No one's looking for you. You probably don't have a family. That's how you ended up in such a shitty crew of bad guys that can't hit anyone with a bullet. No one loves you. No one's finding you. You're a skeleton tied to a chair.
That's the other one that bugs me. You just brought it up. Bad guys shooting guns in movies.
They suck.
Honestly.
At least clip them.
Seriously, and it's like every time the good guy's like, one fucking shot, bam, next shot, you're dead.
Yeah.
The bad guys are like, Tommy gun, not one bullet. Mind you, a Tommy gun will go through a fucking wall.
Yeah.
And still, nothing.
Nope. Or they always turn their pistol sideways.
Yeah.
The aimer's on top, buddy. It's a round bullet. You're not doing anything.
Exactly.
You don't even look you just look dumb when you turn it
You've
sideways.
never used a gun before in your life.
The aimer's on top. What are you doing? Are you shooting around a wall? Because that's the only logical...
They're like in Christ mode with both their arms straight out and they're shooting two guys at once. No.
Nothing.
It's not fucking happening.
They're like Boondock Saints where these like crossed. Oh,
Yeah. If you cross your arm and you're shooting a gun, you're gonna break something. Because
your
The
arms are gonna
recoil's
come
gonna
together
choke
and choke you.
you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
So
went on a rant for a second.
was that your rant? No, I'm just
No. Question number 3. This is from ask.fm.
Oh,
the
yeah.
The
newest way to get a hold of us.
Yep, the newest way. Go onto that if you don't want us to know who you are. If you're scared to write down your name or something to ask us a question,
Yeah.
go to ask.fm. YouSayWeSay. Ask a question there. Not even me and Nate can
We have
tell
no idea who asked these questions.
Ask the questions, yep.
You can also ask us questions on Facebook and stuff and tell us not to use your name.
Yeah.
But this is just, it's even easier because in no way, shape, or form will we ever know who you are.
Exactly. And we have been getting some good questions from this also.
Like this one.
This one is, do you remember your dreams? See, I don't know if anybody else is like me, but I'll have a dream and I'll wake up and I'll know I had a dream, but I won't remember it. I won't remember, maybe
Try
like,
to, though.
Yeah, I'll try to remember, maybe I'll remember a slight detail about it. But this is a weird thing. I'll go on through my day and something will happen and it'll trigger it and I'll remember the whole fucking dream.
That is weird. I thought you were going to say you feel... What I always feel is deja vu.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt your answer,
No.
but it goes along with that.
Exactly.
I know that I'm seeing stuff that is about to happen
No,
in
that
my
makes
dreams.
sense.
Like the day, like 2 weeks and a half, like 2 weeks after I thought I had a dream, deja vu will hit me. I'm like, I saw this somewhere. Like this
Exactly.
exact scenario played out. But anyway,
It's almost like the same thing, but yeah. I'll be doing something super random and something will happen or I'll see something almost like you just said. And the whole dream will pop right into my head. And I remember it. And this could be like a week later or like a few hours later.
while you're driving and you
Yeah,
just
it's
you
just-
have that "That's So Raven" moment where you just stare and then you crash.
Yeah, it's super weird. I don't know if anybody else has that. Tell me so I don't think I'm dying or something's wrong with me. But yeah, I never remember my dreams right when I wake up. It's always later on.
But you do remember them.
But I do remember them eventually. Yep.
Here's my answer. I never remember my dreams. And I'm glad I don't. Because people tell me the fucked up shit they dream about, and I'm like, I can't hang out with you anymore. It's stupid.
Yeah.
What people dream. I'm so glad that I just sleep black and I wake up. Just boop. Okay, I'm ready.
Yep.
But I do feel that deja vu thing once in a while, but I have no idea what it's from. I think I can count on my one hand the amount of dreams that I've remembered. It's
Really?
so weird. The pièce de résistance of dreams that are dumb, that have been... My sister tells me the dumbest dreams all the time, but she's got this famous one that she always tells me. Famous in our family, by the way. I'm not saying that this is like Pulitzer Prize winning material, but in our family, everyone knows this dream that my sister has. And it's this kind of stuff. When people tell me what they dream about, I'm just like, I'm so glad I don't remember. She was having a dream. She was walking in a field. And I think it had to do with some place up north that we go on vacation where there are fields and not sidewalks and, whatever. She's walking through a field. Something starts chasing her. She's running. A sheep comes up and it says, "Go back." And she jumps up screaming. She has night terrors sometimes. When we were growing up, she would wake me up just shrieking at the top of her lungs about stupid dreams like that. A sheep saying, "Go back." About what? Like what? What does that What does that mean? And she was always so interested in looking up what dreams meant. I'm like, because you're dreaming the most ridiculous. Your brain's not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's just, I've heard that when you dream, you're compiling like memory.
Yeah.
When you're sleeping, that's what you're doing. So, like when you fall asleep, it's like pressing the save button on your computer, pretty much. Like you've saved your day's actions, and it's compiling it, and it's saving it for when you want to pull it out for later. You know what I mean? Like long-term memory.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're sleeping. So I'm assuming during the saving process of your brain, some random stuff just flies out, and that's what your dream is.
Viruses.
Yeah. Just gonna say that. People who have these dreams have a virus. Like, they went on too many porn tubes, and they got something. Because these dreams are dumb. And that's not like, I'll have a myriad of examples, but that's the most famous one in my family anyway. So yeah, thank you, whoever asked that.
Yes, thank you.
Whoever's a pussy. No, I'm just kidding. We got this one literally 10 minutes right before we started recording. I always try to put out a status right before we record to get last second questions, and Andy Dichtel sent us, is snow God's way of telling us he hates us? Because of the recent snowstorm, as I aforementioned. Snow is the reason people snap around the holiday, to be honest. The stress of money, presents, family, it's what makes a guy throw himself off the 7th floor of a mall balcony, as that actually happened. I think I talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again because it's awesome. In a bad way. This guy in China was shopping with his wife for 5 hours. He wanted to go home. She refused to go. She had more shopping to do. He snapped. This was last week. Threw himself off